Wes Moore has repeatedly said he's focused on his role as governor, but political analysts believe his actions point to a run for higher office.
When I get to heaven!
Is Governor Moore running for president? Political analysts believe his actions have been consistent with someone who has their eye on the national landscape.
He's at the top of a lot of Democrats' lists when we ask rank and file voters who they might be interested in for a 2028 presidential run.
On the 4th of July, the governor will be delivering a speech from the State House to take a jab at President Trump without even mentioning his name. The speech is titled "The Work of Patriotism" and will focus on what patriotism means at this moment.
I believe that we are a nation of strength because we are a nation of sacrifice and because we're a nation of service. And I think this is going to be a unique opportunity to tell a great story of this state, but to not just talk about what we've seen and what we've done and why you cannot know the American story if you don't know Maryland's story.
The governor's speech is designed to contrast the Trump political rally on the Mall. This also features military flyovers, a state fair, fireworks, and live music performing the president's favorite songs.
The 250-year anniversary of this state and of this country is not about him.
I would say, from the perspective of someone who studies politics, that if one were to run for the presidency, these are some of the strategies that you would employ.
The governor's embracing redistricting, a national Democratic Party priority. He's in a position to become the chair of the National Governors Association.
And his name is out there. And so I think that's something that both the Democratic Party is aware of and also Wes Moore himself is aware of.
I think this is a speech that's not about politics. But this is a speech that will distinguish between the difference of patriotism and nationalism. The thing is that the thing that's always helped us to make it through has been God's grace and moral leadership. And I think that's what Maryland has consistently provided, whether it was the Thurgood Marshalls and the Frederick Douglasses and the Harriet Tubmans of the world, or whether it is the people who are waking up every single morning and educating our kids, or the ones who are supporting our seniors, or the ones who are putting on this state or this country's uniform and fighting on our behalf.
The governor's speech will be about service, sacrifice, and whether elected leaders are actually making life better for the people they serve. Reporting from North Baltimore, David Collins, WBAL-TV 11 News.